Welcome to Banter and Beauty Bosses.
Hi everyone. Hi, it is
How are
rainy.
you doing? How is your year 2025 going so far? I hope it is going well and you haven't had any too many hiccups in January and start of February.
It's normal to have hiccups at this time of year, Sammy. I think everybody starts off the new year with all of these great ideas. I'm going to do this, that, and the other this year. And then we go into a bit of overwhelm and it's like, oh shit, I can't do it.
There's just so much going on. Like the amount of people I've spoken to that have said, like, oh my God, I was so quiet at the end of January. I was
Yeah,
so quiet at the beginning, or like, I've had a really manic week and everyone's gone like, I need to get in.
yeah,
That's normal for this time of year.
yeah,
Like, if you feel like you're like this, that is absolutely normal. You're not always going to be going like this.
yep. Ride the wave.
Not realistic. Like, you've got to think of people's finances. The world has gone insane with
Yeah,
how expensive, like, the world has become, not just the beauty industry.
yeah,
Like it's across everything. So many people have like either had to move house or they've had a massive bill come up. They're like, oh my God, my car insurance, I've just had to pay
yeah.
that. Or like I had my MOT the other day and I
Ugh,
was panicking all day going, oh my God, oh my God. And
yeah.
it failed on a light bulb. But it
Oh,
was like 64p. I was
I was
like,
going to say it
yes.
costs pennies, that doesn't it? At least it can be fixed
I
easy.
was just like, oh my God, what do you mean it failed? He was like, no, I'm only joking. It has passed. It just failed on a light bulb. I was like, you just got me there. Like, I was like, oh no, that's normally like thousands, isn't it? When your car goes and you just think, oh God. But that's what people have had to deal with. So don't feel like you haven't been succeeding. But there's a big but. Me and Emma have decided that we are going to help you guys and create the most amazing, amazing little like courses and masterclassy type things to help you all in the business side of our industry because I feel like we are lacking a lot of it. And a
Yeah,
lot of us, we're going into this business and we don't know what we are actually selling or like how to build a business and make it successful. So
yeah.
over to you, Emma.
No, you absolutely spot on, Sammy, because I had a salon for 7 years and I had staff. And when I first met Craig, my husband, his dad had been really high up in a management role
Mhm.
in a factory in the past. And I remember him asking me the question, how do you deal with your employees? Like, where do you get your information from? And for him, he was like, couldn't understand how a small business did it. Like it wasn't a criticism. It was a genuine question. How do small businesses cope with all of the changes in business, or the rule changes and this, that, and the other? Because actually it changes really quick as well, doesn't it? And how do we find out as business owners what's changing? So you either have to spend a shed load of time trying to keep on top of it with some of these small business federations and stuff, which you then have to pay memberships for, or you don't. And I think one of the reasons a lot of businesses in our industry fail, and I hate using that word fail because I don't think it's ever a failure, but why so many of them actually close is because they haven't got that strong foundation of business knowledge and business understanding. And I can go on about this for ages, Sammy, so like just jump in when you need to. Um, but I think back to my college. When I was at college, I did the full MVQ, and one of my modules was about opening a salon, which is
Yeah.
good, right? Yeah, sounds good. But all I remember taking away from that was a piece of paper which had um towels, like it was basically back in the 90s, so it wasn't done on the
Oh, what, like
computer.
a shopping list?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a shopping list and design. So I had designed what colour my towels were going to be and what my uniform was going to look like. And that was my business module. That was
Mm-hmm.
my business module. I mean, oh, what? So yeah, there was so much potential to get all these young like newbies like, but yeah, that was it. And now so many people are coming in doing a day course, which I am not anti-day courses, by the way. But what gets missed with the day courses is client care, and basic business and health and safety as well. There's a couple of really important things.
Yeah. And I think so, like in the course I'm creating at the moment, I've got a whole section on tax and legal requirements
Yeah,
because a lot of people don't have the knowledge of the business plan or the actual like making sure that it's legal.
Yeah,
Like you go
definitely.
in and you're like, I see it all the time where people are doing stuff without the knowledge of how to do it.
Yeah.
Does that
Oh,
even make sense? Like,
oh, so much
like,
sense, Sammy.
I've seen people do like e-files on people, like using an e-file on someone without having the qualification. No,
Yeah,
absolutely not. Don't do it. Go and get that qualification and have someone that's accredited. Make sure
yeah,
you are accredited to actually use an e-file on someone because that health and safety risk is so huge. Like, just don't do it. Like having an accountant will make your life so much easier. Like, I didn't have an accountant and I used to get so stressed out having to do myself like self-assessment, tax return. And I mean, this year it was great, like I've been able to get my accountant, give him all the information. He's done it all for me, and all I had to do was pay. Like,
yeah,
it makes your life so much easier. So if you can invest in one, do it.
yeah,
And I mean, I could recommend you one if you really wanted one, because he is amazing. But you've got a lady that works with you who
yeah,
does for
yeah,
our industry.
yeah. We have,
So
yeah, in the beauty success squad, we have an accountant who I will name. It's the Beauty Boss accountant, and they work with the beauty industry, so they're
yeah,
able to tell you, especially if you're a home worker as well, what you can put through for your washing. Because don't forget, when you're doing your tax returns, you are going to be able to get so much money per like wash load and that type of thing. The energy in your house, like the electricity and your utilities that are used for your business. So actually having somebody that understands
knowledgeable.
our industry is well worth using. And actually, with regards to accountancy and any type of automation, like I know they're not automation, but any type of like help like that, um, actually you'll normally get the money back in another way. So
Yeah, because you can account for that. So like, say you paid £250 for your accountant for that year,
yeah,
then that comes under as one of your expenses for that year.
yeah,
So it's because you're using it as a business expense, and
yeah.
that's what a lot of people forget. And I think, yeah, like you were saying earlier about even customer service in your business,
Oh yes.
like there is so many people out there that have no customer service, and I feel like some people are just very rude. Yes, you've got to have boundaries in business,
Yes.
100%, and you've got to stick to them. I literally had one. I'm gonna out my client here. I'm not going to obviously mention names, but I'm going to out my client. The other day, I had a client, and her appointment was at 1 o'clock. I messaged her at 13 minutes past one to say, hey, is everything okay? Like, are you stuck in traffic? Like, what's going on? 25 minutes past, she rings me up. Oh my God, today's been such a crazy day. I'm running behind. I'm just getting to the car now. Right. So by the time she got from her car, wherever she was, the other side of town, it would have been 40 minutes into her appointment time. And she expected me to obviously work. I
No
was like,
way.
no, sorry, your appointment's now cancelled and you now need
Good.
to owe me XYZ, purely for the fact that I've got another appointment after you.
Yeah.
I can't fit you in now. You like
Yeah.
that's not okay. And it's having that,
Yeah.
not being rude about it and being like,
Yeah.
no, sticking to your guns and being like, sorry, but if you knew you was going to be late, at least let me know prior to your appointment time.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because I think I've had people message me like 10 minutes before going, oh my God, I'm stuck. I'm stuck in
Yeah.
traffic. I'm
Yeah.
on my way. Like, I'll be with you ASAP. I may be a few minutes late. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, that's fine. Everyone, you should always have a grace period, but at the same
Definitely.
time, don't let your clients take the piss,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you are a business and people need to respect that.
Yeah.
Even if you work from home,
Yeah.
you are still a business.
100%, Sammy. Yeah, client care is definitely essential. Client care is going to be what's going to bring your clients back. But if your client doesn't respect you and your boundaries, it's going to grind on you, and you're not going to give the best client care going forward. So, um, find a way to work with them.
Yeah, you just need
Um,
to make sure that you have your clear setup. Like, I have an online system. We've spoken about this many times. I have client consultation forms online, and they have to refresh that every now and again, purely for the fact that there's legal requirements in
yeah,
there that I need to know about, and that they
yeah,
need to tick a box to say that they are actually happy for me to like work on them. It's all about the GDPR
yeah,
stuff. There's so many like legal
yeah,
bits in this industry that I don't want to name them all right now, but there's loads of bits that you need to know about,
You
and
do.
we don't always get taught that.
Because these
So
are the things that will get an innocent person in trouble. But
yes.
actually, how innocent are you if you don't make the effort to find out as well?
Well,
Because,
I saw this morning actually. It was an anonymous post that someone
yeah.
shared, and basically someone's reported them for doing, it was microblading.
Wow.
And she's got all the qualification and everything, but it's the fact that she's moved premises,
She hasn't
right?
updated a premises license.
Right. So she'd moved premises, and whoever she worked with prior has obviously grassed her up.
Oh,
And it's a
gosh.
case of I think she'd only done like two other people at this new premises, but she was in the process of doing it. And it's just little things like that that can literally shut you down.
Yeah.
Legally,
Yeah.
you're not covered from, because you'll have to go through certain criteria, like certain salons or certain uh, services you provide. You need to make sure that you've got a hand washing facility, you've got, like you've got all of these things available where you work, and if you haven't had it okayed, it can be shut you
Yeah.
down. So
Yeah.
some people wouldn't know that. Some people would just think, oh, I don't need to have permission to work from my home, or I don't
Yeah.
need permission to do this from here, I can just set it up and go. No,
Yeah.
it doesn't work like that. You have to
Yeah, it
make sure you
doesn't.
are
Yeah.
up to standard.
Yeah. You need to check with your local authority of what
Yes,
their requirements are.
because every council will be different as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because London, under London Borough, they have to have for any type of like semi-permanent makeup type thing,
Mhm.
aesthetic type thing. Um, their semi-permanent makeup or tattoos or whatever people call it nowadays, so your microblades in
I'm just drinking this drink, sorry.
it. etc. You have to have a level four qualification. So you have to have a qualification. And unfortunately, a lot of other local authorities don't require that, but they are trying
Mhm.
to make that happen. So I know that I almost ended up doing micro and nano blading and like permanent, semi-permanent makeup a few years ago. I even booked myself onto a course. It said level four because I'm really, really fussy about what I do course-wise. So it was level four, microblades, eyebrow makeup stuff. Um, and I paid the deposit, started reading all the info about it, and I thought, there's nothing anywhere else that's telling me that I'm getting a level four qualification, not just a standard accreditation, because there is a difference between qualification and accreditation. There's a big difference with CPD and all of this stuff. But um, so I contacted the lady who I'd paid for the course with, and I was like, look, it says level four qualification. That's what I've signed up for. Is this an actual level four qualification? And if so, who's the governing body? Is it VTCT or whoever? And she said, actually, no, it's not a level four qualification, but she was selling it as one and charging the price of one as well. So I obviously cancelled it and she gave me my money back. Um, but for me,
You wouldn't,
I'm
if
in
you did it, you
Birmingham.
wouldn't have known, and then you would have been advertising that you was level four qualified and
Yeah,
you actually legally aren't,
yes.
then you get to hold, then basically you're the one that gets into trouble.
Yeah. So basically, if Birmingham decides to follow suit, which I think hopefully all local authorities will follow London on this eventually, but if Birmingham then said, you need to have a level four qualification to be able to do this treatment, my qualification and my certificate is worthless. So
Mm.
always make sure that you know what your
Well, there
local
is new rules coming in at some point. I don't know when they're
authority.
putting them in place,
Well,
even just for like nail techs, that you've got to
yeah,
have an MVQ, is it level two
should be
minimum
two
or
for
something?
nails. But I
Yeah,
think,
like I think because obviously there's so many different courses out there, unless you've got like actual experience. Like, I think for people that have done it for like myself, like 11 years,
yeah,
and yourself, if you say you did a course and it was like you did multiple different ones in the same industry, but just to
yeah.
kind of pick up each different section, then and they were accredited, then I think that still works. But I think it's going forward all the new people, isn't it? Or something like that. I think
I
I'm
think
under
it.
the impression, I'm not sure 100% because it's quite mixed.
They've been talking for years and years and years.
Mm.
I mean, so the whole of
Years.
my
Yeah.
career about regulating the industry so that we have to show our certificates because we don't. And there was a big hoo-ha years ago that hairdressers are meant to have a qualification, but beauty aren't. So basically, anybody could be doing a treatment for you. You don't know who they are. You don't know what their qualification level is, and if they're not qualified to do it, they're not going to be insured to do it. So,
Mhm.
but also the accreditation side of things, you can still get insurance with accreditation. A lot of, I think people are really a bit worried about accreditation um, because it's not a qualification, but a lot of the courses are really, 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 really good. So you just have to
Mm.
be careful about who you're using for them, and not just careful, but you need to do your research and recognize what's what with that. But yeah, check your local authorities. Because the other thing that confuses a lot of people in business is that you cannot serve drinks, as in like,
Yeah, alcoholic drinks
yeah,
without an alcoholic license.
you need to
Yes.
have a license. And again, years ago, people go to the hairdressers Friday afternoon, be a glass of wine. But yeah, you cannot do that at any point. You can't do it at Christmas. We
No.
used to do it in a salon that I worked in. Every Christmas, there'd be a slow cooker with mulled wine in it. You
Do you know
can,
what? My friend had that as a hair, it was a hair
yeah,
salon, and she did it one Christmas, and she had a evening event where she got everyone in for a little
yeah,
Christmas celebration, and there was literally mulled wine. That was
yeah,
it. And it was like mulled wine and mince pies, and someone grassed her up and she got in so much trouble, and she
yeah,
was like, "Oh, I was just doing something nice. It was
yeah,
just I didn't do it I wasn't selling it, I was giving it."
yeah,
But because she didn't have a license, she got into trouble for it.
yeah. You
But
can
that
have
was
a
like a
fine.
local thing. So it's I think there's so many rules that a
Yeah.
lot of people don't know about.
Yeah, and that's what me and Sammy want to try and do and help everybody because we both research the rules. We know what the rules are.
Mm,
And Sammy's got a course coming out. I've got the Beauty Business Boot Camp, which is all about setting up as a sole trader.
yeah.
Because there's so many things that you don't know, and it's really hard because actually it's all a little bit like so and so says this and so says that. So yeah, we want to make sure that you aren't going to get into trouble but also that you're building up that really strong business foundation going forward. Like, yeah,
Yeah, I think knowledge is key with this industry. Like, especially a lot of people now have gone self-employed or sole traders,
yeah,
and like even when they're working in a salon, you're still and you could just be hiring a chair or
yeah,
renting a desk or whatever you're doing, renting a room, you still need to like know what your legal rights are as well as an
yes,
employee or a sole trader. So yeah, we're both covering we're both business, but we're doing different sides of
yeah,
it depending on what you're after. But honestly, it's going to be amazing balls.
yeah. Because actually, those people that are working in a room, you're renting a room within a business. Who's responsible if somebody falls down the stairs? Like, does anybody know the answer to that? Like, they're not your stairs, but you're renting the room. So who's
Have they got
responsible?
insurance to cover like
Exactly.
you as well
Yeah,
working there? Because like
yeah,
my insurance covers me because I
yeah,
don't have anyone else that works with
yeah,
me. But there's like different tiers of your insurance. So you'll
yeah,
have like a salon owner, a sole trader, or whatever. You fit in your criteria of what you offer, and then they'll either give you a quote to say like you now need to pay £217 for the year, or you need to pay like 35 quid, or
yeah,
depending on who your service provider is, that's a bit of an extreme price page, but you get the
yeah,
idea. Is
definitely.
depending on what you're offering will depend on how much your insurance is and whether you need to have salon cover, whether you need to want to put insurance on all your products, because if something happened, if they got
Yeah,
broken into, or you want public liability insurance to make
yeah,
sure if someone does fall down the stairs, who's covered. Like if
yeah,
someone falls over in your workplace,
yeah.
you need to make sure that you're covered for that.
Yeah, as well as the services that you're offering, you need to be able to be insured for the building, accidents in the building, as well as accidents like on your treatment and your services.
Yeah.
But
You
and
chop someone's finger off, you're liable for that.
I think the sad thing is though, Sammy, that I see so many businesses, not just in our industry, but so many businesses that end up closing down and end up in serious trouble. And it is
Yeah.
because I think in our industry, most of us go into it. We're not, let's be
Blindsided.
realistic. We're not going into this to be mega rich, are we, when we do
No.
beauty or nails? We know we're not going to be, in reality, that up there. And there's a business not far away from us that it isn't now the beauty industry, but they closed down after 20 something years. And it was such a sad story because they were a nursery. And
Yeah.
what they had done is their staff got paid but they also were making what I suppose was a salary sacrifice, that their children were getting free childcare, but it was just
Okay.
like sort of coming out of the salary, out of their wages. But when the tax office did some investigating, it had been done wrong. It hadn't been done properly, which meant that
Oh,
these employees were officially being paid less than minimum wage, and the owners of this nursery lost their business. They lost their home. They basically lost everything. 20 something years of building a business, all because of one really simple thing, which, in all honesty, if they had an accountant, the accountant should have picked up on it as well. But
hmm,
it's your responsibility, not your accountant's, by the way. Um, but yeah, they lost everything. And I think none of it was malice. None of it was them being horrible, saying, we're not going to pay you this, or we're going to try and fiddle the tax man. It was just genuinely, right, okay, we'll take this out of your salary. So rather than it going into their salary and then the people pay directly. And it was like, it's such a shame, but it's such a simple mistake.
yeah,
And that's what I see all the time in our industry, a simple mistake. Um, and it's normally lack of knowledge, lack of business as well. And it's just really
yeah.
sad. It doesn't need to happen. So
No, it
don't
really
let it happen
doesn't.
to you.
Yes, you got
Don't,
this.
yeah, don't let it happen.
If you actually have any stories about anything to do with business that you feel like you want to share with the world,
Yeah.
make sure you comment below and share it, and we'll get back to you because we might even highlight it in another video
Mm.
because it's so big in the industry and the amount of people that don't know about it. And don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, because
Yeah.
build us up, we'll make more videos and we'll make more content for you.
Yeah, definitely. Love it.
I do.
Oh,
Business has been always been like a big part of me. Like I remember I wanted to go into business management when I left school, but I didn't. I ended up going to catering and hospitality, which I learned so much in that about
yes.
customer service. Like
Yeah,
that's literally like that. There was such a big module on that, and it was like everything. It taught me. It actually changed how I spoke because
that's interesting.
yes, it's very interesting. I can now have a very posh voice if I
There's your
really want
posh
to.
accent,
I can have a very
darling.
posh accent and be like, "Oh, hello there. How are you today?" But that's probably why I talk like I do because I have so many different.
Well,
It's
you've
like I've
lived in
got
lots of
multiple
places, haven't you, as
personalities.
well? Hey,
Got multiple personalities. That's what it is.
that's true. But haven't we all in our industry? We all have,
Yeah, you've
because we
got
have to
like
adapt.
you have to kind of like. Is it like you adapt to who you're with as well, like your surroundings and the people you're with? Like you may have a client that's a bit more reserved and wants a bit more of a quiet appointment, so you'll then naturally reflect how
Yeah,
they are. You'll have someone that's very bubbly or, you know, someone that's like, blah, and they'll talk
yeah,
loads about, oh my God, can you believe it? I've had this, I've done that, I've blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
drama, drama, drama. Then you might have someone that goes like, oh my God, my husband's been this, or my husband's been that, or my sister, or my brother, or oh my God, the kids have been a nightmare. And you're like their therapist
yeah,
without being a
definitely.
therapist. You could literally be the person that they're going to because you're their safe space.
But you still need to protect yourself. And again, I'm going to bring it back round to business.
Because it is in
Business
business, you
rules.
need to protect yourself
You
100%.
do. There was a rep, oh God, when I first became sole trader in 2003, one of our reps, I remember her saying to us, your clients aren't your friends, which I do agree and disagree with, because I think there's a certain level where you have to be a friend as well. But,
Yeah.
there has to be a barrier and a
Boundary.
boundary. She said, your clients aren't your friends. If you do something wrong, they will not treat you as a friend. They will treat you as a person that has done something wrong to them. So watch that line. And it's always sat with me. And it's really hard because every now and again I can feel myself feeling a little bit more relaxed about the rules. And then I'm like, no, Emma. So, as an example, today, one of my regular clients has got a daughter who's 13, and she comes in for some treatments, like eyebrows and stuff. And nowadays, we have to have not only parental consent, but we also have to have an adult present in the treatment room now. Which actually I really agree with. Whereas years
I
ago,
do, yeah.
we never had to do that. We never even considered it. Like for me, as a young therapist, I never thought anything of being on a
Mm.
one-to-one basis with a youngster, like in my treatment room, never occurred to me. Whereas now, obviously, it's a big no. And she booked her appointments, and then she messaged me saying, "Oh, actually, I've just realised When I put my daughter in next week, her dad's going to bring her, but he doesn't want to come into the treatment room. He can be downstairs. Is that okay, or do you want me to rebook it? And I was like, you know what? You've got to rebook it. I need an
Yeah,
adult in the room now. Um, and that is where we have to protect ourselves because the likelihood is nothing is going to happen in that room. But what if that person
it's
goes
he
out?
said, she said.
At the end of the day, that's a minor in your treatment room. And I know this is just a small example, but you don't know whether they are going to go home to their dad and say, that person did this or that person said that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, make
Well,
sure you protect yourself.
they do that at the doctors. You know, like certain procedures or
Yeah,
certain things, they always say, would you like a chaperone? Would you like someone else to come in
yeah,
and be in the room with you at the same time while we check whatever it is? Like, especially like as a female,
yeah,
I've had that multiple times with certain things, and I've gone, no, it's fine, or actually, yes, please. Actually,
yeah,
I feel I would be better off with someone else in the room at
yeah,
the same
yeah,
time. Or majority of the time, I'm like, yeah, crack on, it's fine. You're a doctor, you know what
yeah,
you're doing. But
yeah.
with our business, we can't do that.
No, we can't.
But
But
it's giving there's legal requirements. Sometimes they have to ask, like for an adult, it's different. But yes, for a minor, you
yeah,
have to have
yeah,
parental consent and then present at the same time.
yeah,
I've had it with like even just a child manicure that you're
yeah,
just literally doing a file and polish with normal regular polish, not gel polish, but a regular polish. Um, you have to have the permission, and your parents going to be there.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I think a lot of it is about protecting your business with the rules, following the
yes,
rules, but know what the rules are, keeping
yes.
high standards, and just working. Like you may be the best nail tech in the world, but if you haven't got that business, I'm going to go all apprentice acumen.
Oh.
If you don't know how to do business, you are going to struggle with having a
Mhm.
business because this
It's
isn't
about budgeting
just,
as well, isn't it? Like
yeah,
your finances, your
yeah,
financial management, your budgeting, your legal stuff, your,
so much.
client care, client
Music
retention,
license,
like, yeah, like your licenses, your
so many
qualifications.
things.
Just it's so much and it can be very overwhelming. So
Yeah,
I want to create something that breaks it all down for you and gives you templates, give you workbooks, give you information to try and help you make it easier,
yeah,
but also like a guideline to
yeah,
help
yeah,
you with your business
definitely.
to make sure that you are as successful as you can be.
Yes, definitely. We want to see as many businesses surviving, not only surviving, but thriving. And basically, like sticking two fingers up at the rest of the world that said that this is a rubbish industry or this is like not worth having, this is a rubbish job, this isn't a real
Mm.
job or whatever. We want to see so many of you survive and be amazing in this and be really financially independent if you can be.
And being realistic,
Yes.
because I think there's so many people out there that goes, oh, you can earn this much money a month. Like, how are you supposed to do that if you only work 3 days a week or 2 days a week or 5 days a week? Like, it's everybody's situation is different. Everyone's end goal at the end of the month is
Yeah.
different. So you need to make sure that you're not being given some bloody sparkly thing and gone, ooh, this is what you could be
Yeah.
doing. Unless you have high like ticket value like services, you're not going to realistically be able to do that unless you work yourself and get complete burnout.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
That's
quite
just my
sadly.
realistic business that like head just come on like unless you want to work for like 50, 60 hour weeks, some of you are never going to make 5k a month. Sorry,
Yeah.
I put that out there. Unless you want to be working all the hours under the sun, the amount people are charging these days,
Yeah.
we're
20
not
quid a
going
set
to
of
do it.
nails.
Yeah, you're never going to do it. Like, even if you're like pricing yourself quite high, it's still going to be quite hard. I think more realistically, most people I speak to can realistically, without over burnout, can do a
Yeah.
2.5, 3k a month.
Yeah.
And that's working as much as they physically can. And
Yeah.
that's just from talking to people in the industry.
Yeah. And it depends on what your like niche is and what area you're in. There's certain treatments that are way more profitable. So it's always
Yes.
worth looking. I know in all courses that
We
I've
spoke about
done.
it the other day, didn't we, about more
Yeah.
profitable options.
Yeah. Sammy and I talk about this regularly, and I know both of us have courses in our groups as well. We talk about profitability ever such a lot because it's all good and well saying that you are like, I'm going to use an example here. I keep seeing a lot of people saying um, their business made 6 figures in a year. And I'm like, right, yeah, that's turnover. That's what you brought in, but that's not what went into your pocket. I had
Yeah,
a
that's not the
salon.
take home.
Our salon turnover was 6 figures every year. And I'd have been disappointed if it wasn't because we had 7 staff members. We had, like,
Yeah.
I mean, when you boil it down, I think there's a lot of words out there that are really like those shiny objects for a lot of people who are desperately wanting to be financially successful and financially independent. And it's really easy to get drawn into this. Sammy and I are honest. We're in the industry still. We are still working. Sammy's still an amazing nail tech. I'm a beauty
Yeah.
therapist. We're still in the industry, so we're not talking to you from our kitchen laptop. I mean, we are
Yeah.
when we're doing these and our courses, but we have got that proper insight. We've both had businesses for a long time, and we're both still navigating the issues and challenges within business to
Mhm.
this day. So all of our stuff is updated regularly. So
Yeah, like, I think when you're sometimes getting information from people that aren't actually physically doing it anymore,
yeah,
they don't really understand it anymore.
it's
That's the
different.
difference. I think we're like, we do this in like a lunch break, or
Yeah,
we will create this in the smallest windows that we have in our diary because
yes,
we want to make sure that we still fit it in our working hours, because we that's how we work. Like, we're trying to, like, look, I'm still wearing my apron because
yeah.
I'm literally going to
I'm
have a
at work.
client in a minute. Yeah, like, we're doing this in between our working day
Yeah,
because we've got a little window there. Have you got a window? Yeah, let's jump on a Zoom. Let's create this because we want to be realistic and be like, we're in the industry, we're working hard, we're serving our customers, but we're also trying to help you all at the same
yeah,
time. We
yeah,
want this to be a safe space. We want it to be an educational space. We don't want to be giving you knowledge that's not real. We
yeah,
want to give you real life facts, really,
yeah.
and real life experience.
Tried and tested.
Yes.
That's what we should call this one, tried and tested.
Yeah. Tried and tested business success stories.
I love it. But I'm gonna have to go in a moment anyway, because
Yes, so am I, because I've got to go and get myself ready to go back to work.
yeah, yeah,
So
this is it.
thank you for listening. Thanks for
Yeah,
watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Tag them in the bottom wherever we decide we're actually going to share this. It will be on YouTube and Spotify, always,
yes,
every time. Um, yeah, until next time, keep your eyes peeled for all our new exciting things coming along.
excellent. See you all soon.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.